Right, joining us though to talk about something else that's heading out at the moment is currently in front of a select committee. And this week, Facebook and Instagram owner Meta, who don't usually, in actual fact, arrive at these sorts of things, and I wouldn't imagine take New Zealand too seriously, but nope, they did this week. They appeared in front of the parliamentary inquiry into the age verification for under 16s in this country, a policy that is currently being promoted, I think, by private members' bill, but accepted by the government as a particular issue. It's in front of a select committee. Meta joined this week. Parmjeet Parmar, who's been very active on this particular issue, the setting of social media age limits, is with us now, and she joins us. Parmjeet, love to have you on. Thank you so much for joining us again.
Don't settle for a fake snarler when you can have Beard Brothers' premium range of all-natural sausages. No fillers, no nasty artificial stuff, just meat, herbs and a whole lot of flavour. Perfect for barbecues, weeknight dinners, or any time you want real food that tastes like it should. Proudly New Zealand made, you'll find them fresh in your local Foursquare, New World and Pack and Save. Beard Brothers, crafted with care, the old school way.
Oh, hi, Michael. Thank you.
Your reaction to that poll, by the way?
I would say that we still have a year left. So there is a lot of work that needs to be done. And ACT Party is really focused on doing what matters. So there is a lot of work that we still need to do.
Yeah, we haven't got an election tomorrow just as well on the basis of that poll, I have to say. Anyhow, let's talk about there's an Education and Workforce Select Committee inquiry into the online harm young New Zealanders face to set up and whether or not you can protect minors from that. Can I ask, Parmjeet, your views on this issue before we talk about what is necessarily going on in the Select Committee?
Yes, so I don't want to preempt what the Select Committee will do and what government will do. So how this issue came up is because of a members' bill, as you have mentioned. And when this members' bill came up, we started hearing arguments from both sides. People, those who are in favor of full ban for under 16s, those who are concerned about freedom of expression or privacy. So we thought we need to take a step back because the concerns being expressed by people on both sides of this argument are genuine concerns. And that's why I wrote to the Education and Workforce Select Committee to do an inquiry so that we can look into this issue properly. It's a very complex issue, and I can tell you that sitting through hearing submissions, that belief has been confirmed because it's a complex issue, and we need to really look into all the evidence before we come up with any kind of a solution. So yes, I can provide you some ideas, but as I said, I don't want to preempt what the Select Committee will do. The government overall, as you know, that Prime Minister has said that he is very keen in this area, but we don't know exactly what government will do at this stage. And I really hope that Select Committee's work will inform a government's work.
Okay, so is this a bipartisan or a non-partisan Select Committee, Parmjeet? Is there a genuine desire by all parties to look at this issue?
So yes, that's why we got the inquiry initiated on the Select Committee. And I wrote to the Select Committee to do this work. But now we will have to see going forward what different parties think. There might be different thinkings going on about what is the right solution, or if there is a right solution or not. What I would say is that we have heard from parents, we have heard from young people, we have heard from tech companies, as you mentioned before, and we want to see that we are able to find a solution that is workable. Workable in the sense that tech companies can apply, but then on the other hand, we also want to see that that the solution should be effective too. So we also heard from presenters from overseas about the UK experience, where the use of VPN has increased significantly. So in the first 3 days, since when they implemented their act, the report said that the top 5 out of 10 apps were actually VPN apps. So that is quite concerning. So we don't want to see this whole activity going underground. So here we are trying to resolve this issue of harm that happens online, but on the other hand, we don't want to push this underground. So that's why it's a very serious issue, and we need to make sure that we have all the information before we go to the next step. And if I can add, in Australia, they are going to implement their legislation soon. So I think
Yep.
we are in a, if we have to like take that way, if we want to consider it that way, we are in a very fortunate position because I don't think we need to be the first and the fast one in the space. We don't want to repeat the mistakes that they will be making, and we have the opportunity to learn from them. But on the other hand, it doesn't mean that we just sit and wait for them to implement their legislation and learn. There are some things that we can do in the interim. That is my view. That is one possible approach because in the public hearing with Meta, I asked them to provide information about the proportion of parents those who use parental control. So I don't believe all parents use parental control. I know many in my friend circle, those who have never used parental control. And I know that there are some parents, those who are not that tech savvy, they don't know how to do that. So I'm really keen to see the proportion. So once I get that response, it will make it clear to us that that could be one of the areas. Digital literacy could be another area, and educating young people about the harms. So there are so many things that can be done. But as I said, I don't want to preempt what the select committee will say, and this is not the ACT Party final policy, but I'm saying this could be a possible way because, as I said, we could be causing more harm by pushing online activity underground, and that is not something that I would like to see happening.
Okay, just to explain to listeners, because I wasn't aware until I knew I was going to talk to you, Parmjeet, that the UK had enacted new laws that came into force, I think, from the 25th of July. So they're relatively recent. But those new laws were aimed at protecting under 18s in the UK from harmful content, which included pornography, self-harm, God, I can't, suicide, hate speech, and violence. And the idea was that children would have to prove their age to access some of this harmful attention. Obviously, if they're under 18, they wouldn't be able to access it. 1,000 platforms confirmed to Ofcom that they've got these checks in place, including the most visited porn site in the UK, Pornhub. Are you saying to me that the evidence, so it's only been August, September, I said we're looking at 2 months, I guess. Are you saying that the evidence is that this isn't working?
So what I'm saying is that it's very clear that the downloads of VPNs have increased significantly, and that's where the concern is, because at the moment the activity is open and there are possibilities of intervention, but once it goes underground, the possibility of intervention basically it becomes really minimal. Why? Because these people will be really reluctant to report if they experience something that they should be reporting. So that's where my concern is. How do we balance it? Because ultimately our goal is to reduce harm. But on the other
But
hand,
but in
we
New
also need
Zealand, can I just ask on that one? But in New Zealand, the New Zealand government has the capability, or as I think NetSafe or some of those, to actually shut down overseas sites or access to from New Zealand providers. Um, isn't so? For example, you can't access child pornography in this country. You can't access bomb making sites except if you go through, oh, I don't know. You've really got to go through a process, I get, to get there. And then there are significant penalties if you do access those anyhow, and people go to prison. Can I just say then, why, if you can do that, if you the physical ability to restrict those sites is there, why would you not then be able to block off the sites that are still illegally promoting this material in the UK? You would be able to, wouldn't you?
So the content moderation is one approach, but then, as you can imagine, AI is used. I'm imagining AI is used by these companies to do that, and there is some error rate. So it's not like it's 100% foolproof any technology, and that is what we heard from the age assurance technology trial that was done in Australia. So even they have said that it's not 100% proof. So yes, we need some technological interventions. We need maybe interventions from parents and maybe other mechanisms to make sure that young people are not exposed to content they should not be. But none of these technologies are 100%
Well, I
foolproof,
mean,
and
there's
that
no technology that's 100% Parmjeet anywhere in the world. So, I mean, there's always going to be human error. But I would have thought that it's better to start than just to sit there and go, oh, well, we'll just let it go in the interests of freedom of speech. Yeah?
Don't settle for a fake snarler when you can have Beard Brothers' premium range of all natural sausages. No fillers, no nasty artificial stuff, just meat, herbs and a whole lot of flavour. Perfect for barbecues, weeknight dinners or any time you want real food that tastes like it should. Proudly New Zealand made, you'll find them fresh in your local Foursquare, New World and Pack and Save. Beard Brothers, crafted with care the old school way.